All right, welcome back to the MMA Meltdown radio show here on Mile High Sports AM 1510. Our next guest is the Phenom, Vitor Belfort, who's fighting Anthony Johnson on UFC 142, UFC Rio, and that could be caught on January 14th, 8 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. Hey, Vitor, how's it going, man?
Everything's good, man.
How's your rest week coming along, if you can call it that?
Yeah, man, we have you and one more interview to do. Today's done, tomorrow come, and that's how it takes the life, man, one day at a time.
How great does it feel to be able to have this week in Brazil as opposed to being away from home?
Man, it's great, just to be in a place, be working for one of the biggest sport in the world and being one of the role models and having this opportunity that I'm having. So God has been great to me, man, and I'm so glad.
Yeah, that's awesome. Now, let's kind of, if we can, let's compare, how MMA and how the UFC is impactful to Brazil. I mean, because obviously the UFC has a really strong fan base here in the States, but in Brazil it has to be going nuts right now. What's the environment like everywhere you go at this point?
Just to understand, in the Junior Cigano fight, he fought in Open TV in Brazil and Open TV in Fox. 4.7 viewers in America. 66 million people in Brazil. So that's how you can see how the sport is growing. So it's amazing. Yeah. It's gigantic.
Yeah, it's huge. It's crazy. So let's talk a little bit about some motivation real quick. The UFC went to Rio last August here, and your name came up, but it wasn't to fight. It was actually to commentate the fights. How anxious were you just kind of sitting there commentating the fights and, just kind of seeing how the crowd was? I mean, how did that get you going?
I was just enjoying my moment, I'm a happy man, and everything that I do focus on what I have to do. And I'm enjoying every moment. So in that moment, I was enjoying as a commentator. In this moment, I'm going to enjoy as a fighter. So that's the beauty of life, man. Be happy what you have in front of you. Don't try to want what's not in front of you. So
that's good. So you enjoyed that part of the industry, huh?
Yeah, sure. I enjoy every moment, and everything in front of me, I'm trying to do as best as I can do it.
Is it hard at times, or is it a little bit overwhelming when you kind of take a moment to sit back and kind of think about everything that you've accomplished and think about where you're at that point? I mean, does it ever get too much for you? Get to be too much?
No, like I said, that's when you do the best. Every time you look back and say, I did my best. I made a mistake, but, I learned. So that's how you do, you enjoy the moment, do your best, enjoy life, man.
Right. Now, you've had more fights in the UFC than any other fighter that's actively fighting right now, and you've always had the dream of being able to fight in front of your home crowd. Does this particular fight carry any additional pressure than a normal, typical fight for you?
I think if carries something, carries joy. Carries joy, accomplish, carries more in a sense that, I'm blessed to have this opportunity. Not a lot of fighters have the opportunity to break through the things that I break through and still being around. So for me, it's a win-win situation, actually.
Right. Now, you talk about opportunity, and how great was it to have an opportunity to get GSP in your camp, really just weeks before he got injured?
It was amazing. It was like I said, when you live a life of joy and you enjoy the moment, things happen. Good things happen to who plant good seeds, and having GSP in my camp was one of the best things in life. How many fighters will have that opportunity, and I had mine, and I took advantage. We had a great time. I met a good guy. We built a relationship, and he's a great man. As he's a great athlete also, he's a great man, and all his camps, all the guys that were there, was very cool.
Nice. Now, come January 14th, UFC 142, you're going to be facing Anthony Johnson. He's a great striker. His wrestling game is really strong. How do you see Anthony Johnson approaching you in this fight?
I see a guy who can punch, who can kick, who can wrestle. I see a very tough opponent, and I'm ready for him. We're gonna have great 50 minutes competition, and we see what's gonna happen, and I'm gonna bring my best, and he's gonna bring his best, and the best who plays better on that night will win, and I'm gonna enjoy every moment.
And you certainly have deserved the title of the Phenom, and you deserve the title of the Legend. Are we going to see the Phenom? Are we going to see the Legend holding the championship belt again anytime soon?
Amen, and amen to that. That sounds like a great prophecy, and I received that as a prophecy, and I'm going to make sure I work hard to get that belt around my waist.
Yeah, and it's funny, you talk about how it was such a great opportunity for you to work with GSP, and he's thinking the same thing about you. Him being able to get into that camp and work out with you must have been just fantastic. Vitor, best of luck to you, sir. Come UFC 142.
Amen, bro. Thank you.